What should your price be? That is a huge question. I know that there are a ton of people out there that have a ton of different theories on how to price. Should you end your pricing in $9.97? Should you end your pricing in $9.93? Should you end it with 2 zeros, a flat number? What do you even do here? Should you price high? Should you price low? There's a ton of things that we all have questions about, and I have some answers. Stick around. This video is brought to you by Email 10K. Learn how to book meetings with billion-dollar brands and take your company to the next level at email10k.com. Whether you've been following this channel or not, I run a suite of companies, and we have everything from a software company that charges $19 a month to an agency that charges $10,000 a month to an online course that starts at $1,000 flat. So these are 3 different companies that we run, and all 3 follow different pricing strategies. So in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about how we think about pricing and give you some tips on how you can improve your pricing as well. So before I talk about how to optimize your pricing on your landing page to make it more appealing to people when you talk about the pricing, I want to give you this general tip. And this general tip is charge more than you're charging right now. The way that we think about pricing is it's an ever increasing cycle. So for instance, if the first person you pitch on your agency service, you get them to close at $500, then the next person you pitch, you should try to close them at $1,000. And then the person after that, you should try to close them at $2,000, then $4,000, then $6,000, then $8,000. And in our course, Email 10K, I show this trade-up strategy as well. This isn't just theory. We went from charging $2,000 for our initial marketing review all the way to charging $12,000 and tying that to a $12,000 per month retainer contract, which ended up being over $100,000 a year from one single contract. So we were able to take that $2,000 marketing review and increase the price to $120,000 per client by increasing the price every time we pitched it. And the amount that you can increase every time comes down to how willing you are to lose the client if it doesn't work out. That's all. And I would honestly say more aggressive price increases are better, because while you're getting laughed out of the room, the client will give you some hints or suggestions for how you can get up to that price. Which is why I recommend starting with the price and then coming up with the service after. So you might say something like, I want to charge $12,000 a month. Okay, what will businesses pay $12,000 a month for? Which is the exact opposite of how most people start a business, which is, I want to start a flower boutique, and then coming up with everything from there. If you start with the amount that you want to charge first, everything else falls into place. So now that I've talked about the basics of how to raise your pricing, let's talk about how to improve your pricing and some theories when it comes to pricing strategy, including some tips for how you can get people to convert more at your current prices. Number 1 is reduce the left digit by 1. What that means is if your marketing review or whatever, if X product is $2,000, charge $1,999, or even lower, $1,997, or what I've found is even lower than that fools people into buying. So like $1,921 seems way lower than $2,000 than $1,999, even though it's only an $80 difference. So you can use psychology like that. And I could tell you to just decrease it by 1, which is go from $2,000 to $1,999. But what I would rather do is tell you to use your brain. So on your landing page or in your email, write out your price like you normally would, write $2,000, and then start bringing the price down until you think it's unbelievably cheap, but still around the same price. Like I wouldn't bring it down by more than $200, but find what is that specific number combination for you that makes your product seem cheaper. For me on the course Email 10K, it was ending in 7s. It was charging $997 instead of $1,000 for the course. That was big. For the marketing review, it was $497. So we ended up doing $12,497, and that's almost $13,000, right? Instead of charging $12,000, we went up to $12,497, and there's an extra $497 every time that's closed, which adds up over time. So use your brain and start reducing your pricing until you feel like it's a steal, and then sell at that price. The next thing you can do is remove the comma. So let's put a price up here, $1,997. You can see it's $1,997. Now, if you remove the comma and it's just $1,997, it's easier to digest and it actually feels like a lower price. And that's what you got to keep in mind. Putting commas in actually makes your pricing seem more expensive. So remove those commas to remove hesitation in your client and make your product seem like it's worth more. Another thing you can do if you're trying to get more people to buy and you want to charge the same amount is offer payments in installments. We did this for our marketing services, especially when we started moving up to six-figure deals. So when we try to charge somebody $120,000, what we ran into was a lot of these people don't have $120,000 sitting in their bank account ready to give us. So they'll do payments, meaning we will charge $12,000 for the first month and then $12,000 a month for the rest of the year, and they sign a year-long contract. Or we could charge $12,000 for the first month, then when they sign the year-long contract, it's 30% down, 30% several months in, and then 40% on closing. Closing, by the way, do it by date, not by delivery, because otherwise you'll never get that last payment. Projects are just gonna be stretched out forever. And I talked about that recently. We hired a video editor and the contract said $1,500 due on signing, $1,500 due on successful project delivery. And so far, I mean, that's months ago, we still have not gotten to that successful project delivery. I don't know if she's ever gonna see that $1,500 because of the way she structured her contract. Versus if she had just said final payment due 6 months after initial signing or on final project delivery, she would have been paid by now. And that's something to keep in mind when you're negotiating your contracts. That little sentence can make you twice the amount of money, right? Instead of the $1,500 she got for the video, she could have had $3,000 by now if she had just put that little sentence in there. There are also places you can go to give your clients credit. So for instance, PayPal credit will allow them to apply for a loan through PayPal, and then you get the money instantly and they pay PayPal over time, which is way better than you having to be the collection agent on these clients. If you can get them to pay through another program, then you can get the money up front and then the client will be able to pay that over time on their end. PayPal can deal with the collections, etc. That is a much better strategy than paying over time. But some people don't like to get involved with credit card companies and all that. That's an advanced strategy. So that's that. The bonus tip here is always be testing your pricing. So if you think that you found the perfect price, and let's say you followed all these strategies, it's like $25.68 is your price, and that's always up there, I would try a couple things, especially if you're pushing a lot of traffic to your landing page. I would do a couple A/B tests. I would A/B test doubling the price. So some people see the $2,500, some people see a price closer to $5,000. See if that changes at all. If it does, and more people buy the $5,000 or barely less people buy the $5,000, then you can double your income in one A/B test. So that's worth testing. And I would try a lower payment plan. So for instance, for our course Email 10K, we have 3 payment plans. One is a $297, one is a $597, and one is a $997. And they all go to the same course, but the $597 is for 2 months, so it ends up costing a little bit more, but you spread it out. And then the bottom tier is spread over 5 months, so that also ends up costing a little bit more. But some people like paying over time like that. So try some different pricing tiers, A/B test your pricing, and you'll have pricing psychology mastered in no time. This video is brought to you by Email 10K. Hey, are you still thinking about investing in Facebook or Google ads to grow your business? Well, I just did, and it took me $10,000 to break even. So unless you have that to drop before you see any results at all, I highly recommend you look into cold email because it's a better and cheaper way to kickstart your business. And honestly, I wish I would have invested the 10K in cold email. I would have seen a much bigger return and have in the past. Hop in Email 10K and watch the free presentation. If you found this video valuable, smash that like button to encourage the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe for more content like this. We've got a ton of videos all about sales psychology, how to increase your sales, how to start your business, etc. Check out Email 10K if you haven't already. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.